Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Side Ploud with Pop.1 podcast here. My boy Alexander Valido.
Yo.
My boy Bryan Ha.
Hello.
All right, we got a good little show. Episode 15.
15.
Let's go.
Let's go.
15 episodes.
We've been doing this 3 months.
Yeah, I know. It
a little
feels
over,
good.
almost 4.
Yeah, it does feel good. It feels like we've really done what we said we were going to do.
Yeah.
But we got some news today on Yu-Gi-Oh! Full arts are outside of the border. We got a little discussion on that. We're going to be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis, Magic the Gathering, and some leader leaks from OP14.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it. All right, we are back. Before we get started, let's talk about our sponsors over at Dueling Guard, One Shop Stop. For all your, did I say that right? One Shop Stop. For all your TCG accessories, head on down to Dueling Guard. Link below for 15% off. And also Anchor Goods. Our affiliate links down there too. If you like leader cases and one-piece card game, that's where you go.
That's where you go.
Shout out Anchor Goods. They had 2 players playing it on stream this past weekend.
Really?
On the online regionals, yes.
That was so cool to see.
Yeah, I know every time we go live or anytime we go to events or anything like that, everybody's like, what is this? And,
What is it?
You know, we all got the little whole spiel that we give, you know. It doesn't touch your leader.
It doesn't.
It's just a very cool case that doesn't touch your leader. The only thing that touches your leader is the back of the case. I think it's really cool, man. Very innovative.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kevin, man. He's killing it, dude. Anchor Goods. All right, OP14, guys. We got 2. Well, okay, let's talk about this. We actually had a bunch of leader leaks, but only 2 confirmed.
Yeah. Now, this is at the time of recording, so...
Yeah, I guarantee you once we drop the video, it's already going to be leaked, and we're going to have all the support and everything out there. But while we're here, let's go ahead and talk about OP14. So we had the Dracul Mihawk, which is it mono green?
Mono green Draco Mihawk. Finally.
Probably going to play that deck.
And then we had the Boa Hancock, which is blue-yellow.
The koala wannabe.
I think her effect's kind of nuts, dude. And I don't have it in front of me, but from like memory, basically it was Don X1. Refresh my memory, Brian. I know you know.
When on your opponent's turn, when one of your Kuja pirates or Amazon Lily, I believe, pirates is KO'd with original power of 5,000 or more, then you draw. No, your opponent takes their top life, adds it to their hand.
Yeah. So
Almost a burn effect.
yeah,
A pseudo
it's
burn.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives your opponent a card. You know what I mean? But
It's a pseudo Yamato, really.
it's some yellow shenanigans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yellow's always messing with the life in some type of way, and you know, it's a new one. Now, do I think it's going to be like a crazy, insane deck? No, I don't right now.
Yeah.
But once we get to support, I'm sure it's going to.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's not on opponent's turn. It's on the opponent's turn is the part where if you play a character, you draw a card. So that's assuming like on triggers and stuff. So it's
yeah. Because we were talking about like, you know, possibly Kikunojo being a good card for that.
Kikunojo, yep. The new Boa from PRB2.
Yeah. Brule.
Frankie. Nico Robin,
Yeah.
the yellow one.
Does it? Well, Nico Robin plays one from hand or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
but as long as the character is played on your opponent's turn.
Yeah,
So it doesn't
yeah.
matter where, if it's a life.
Is that
or
once
if
per turn or?
it's- It might be once per turn. We have to pull the card up. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it is
yeah.
just like, you know, on your opponent's turn. Once
This
per
is
turn,
all.
draw
It's
one.
all very new to us. So you know, this is what we do. We kind of just speculate and all this stuff. So it's all very new stuff.
There's no support mentioned for these decks yet.
Not
And,
yet.
You know, I look at the Mihawk leader, and that effect doesn't seem great, right? If you have a 5 or more, you can resand 3 Don, but you can't play any characters. Was that the drawback to that?
Yeah, you can't play more characters.
But
for
the
a
thing
turn.
is, if your opponent's leader has the slash type,
It gets an extra 1,000 attack, yeah.
so a lot of people are calling it that anti-Zoro.
Right, but if they have some crazy support
Mm-hmm.
in OP14 for the Mihawk deck, yeah, it's going to be crazy.
You know they're gonna put a Perona out, or maybe they won't because
don't
we
they-
did just get a new green Perona.
Yeah, the green Perona I think is going to be splashable in that deck, obviously,
Yeah, for
because
sure.
Yeah, but you
it's
can't do
just-
Hyorin.
maybe
'cause
the
that's only
old
Zoro.
green Perona.
Yeah, I was
the,
wondering about what
yeah.
does that search?
That one searches Thriller Bark and specifically Dracula Mihawk.
Yeah, so you
depends on how many Mihawks are in the.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're gonna play the 8-drop Mihawk in it. You might play the other green Mihawk from the
2K
structure
counter.
deck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then the new Perona, the Searcher, and then the other one, Searching as well. And who knows, man? There's probably gonna be another. I mean, I'm sure the 2-drop or the new 2K counter Zoro, the blocker from PRB, is gonna be a good card in that.
Yeah.
All types of, because One Piece is good with putting their characters from the anime and manga together in the decks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Zoro and Perona have a big tie with Mihawk. So
Yeah.
Now, speaking of leaks, they leaked the other 5 ones. And again, this can change by the time this video comes out.
well, when you say it was like a custom card
Yeah, it was a
maker.
custom card maker who makes, these cards before.
Yeah.
So, it's almost like, hey, is this information reliable? We don't know as of right now.
Yeah.
But one thing we did notice is that there was no Kuma leader, which is something that a lot of players were begging for. Instead, we get another Doflamingo, another Crocodile. It seems like.
Well, so what it was a custom card creator put a picture out with all these new leaders. Obviously, they're manga heads, but they're not confirmed or anything like that. And the 2 that were leaked by Bandai themselves were actually in that pile of leaders that he made. And it's like, okay, and he got the text like correct. So it's like, okay, how did he have these 2 with this pile of other leaders that all kind of, represent the 7 warlords,
Yeah.
So we did get a Gekkamoria, we got a new Dofi, we got a new Croc. Did we get
Law?
We got Jinbei and Law.
Yeah.
And they all look okay.
Well,
but
those are just custom manga heads, so they're not the actual art. The effects
Right.
themselves, though, is what people are speculating that might be real.
Yeah.
And just because, why would he make up effects for these leaders that aren't even in the game
within
yet?
like seconds of them being leaked.
Yeah,
like, You know what I
exactly.
mean? It was like right after, because we get the little notification on Discord every time something's leaked or whatever, and that can be behind a little bit too. I noticed that whenever like the
sometimes.
Gorosei stuff was being leaked and everything, it took it about an hour to update. But anyways, it was like right after I saw that, like an hour after that, I saw these custom leaders, and not only customized leaders with text and everything, but they were printed, with texture and all that. It takes a little time to make these things.
Yeah.
So from what it looks like he has all the leaders, and we kind of know all the effects of the new leaders.
Yeah, and they were in English too, which I don't. So what was it? I think they made it confirmed that like in OP15 is when we're gonna be officially global release. So OP14 is not gonna be global release. So the fact that he had them in English text and everything, it's kind of weird, kind of sus. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out.
It's
see if
cool
he's
if he
even
did,
real.
because if he did, we kind of know what's going on now with that format. And I'm going to tell you now, it's very support reliant for all these leaders. I don't see a lot of. No, I do. Obviously, when you see leaders, obviously the staples and stuff are probably going to still be around for each
course.
color. Croc's leader effect was kind of weird. I don't really remember, but it's just like a lot of cards that really you wouldn't play that are out right now.
Yeah.
But black has been lacking for a while. I know Emu's about to come out and bring that color prevalent again. So we'll just see how it looks, because I don't think that any of those leaders really counter Emu too hard.
Or Ace.
Or
Zoro.
Or any of them.
Yeah.
So where it's like,
or Up, yeah.
are we really going to get it really looks like we might just get a boost in format for OP14 with this set. Now we don't know any of the cards. We know 2 cards out of the whole set. So we'll just have to see on that. But, it is what it is. And I think I'm not going to say I'm excited for it yet. I am glad that we do get a Mihawk leader finally. That's been a fan thing forever.
Exactly.
And no Luffy leader. Jeez, we
Well,
just
he's getting the Egghead starter.
I forgot about that one. Yeah,
And then right after that, he's getting the Ace and Luffy starter deck, the red green.
We'll just know they're going to be pretty correct. Well, no, wait, red green. We get a red green Luffy already.
Yeah, I know. They just love red green.
Well, aren't some of the OG Luffy's getting rotated out soon?
Yeah, the old RG Luffy's getting rotated out, and yeah, that's kind of what I've mentioned before. Like that, I think that with rotation happening, there's going to be Bandai's going to be rotating, like redoing some of the leaders, the old leaders that were getting rotated out, which is why I don't believe like the Dofi that was leaked was going to be the real one. They could make another blue Dofi leader that
Yeah.
is like a more better version, enhanced version of the old one. But I mean, they could just make the red purple leaked one. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, another thing that got leaked was we're getting that purple Roger promo.
Yep.
And the way we're getting it's actually hilarious. We are getting it in basically for you Yu-Gi-Oh heads out there, the OTS pack for One Piece. What
For
are they
local-
called? Just
store
local
tournament packs,
Yeah,
yeah.
store tournament packs.
So to confirm, it's coming like as a common in that, or
Yes.
A common and then the winner pack.
There
version.
will be a winner version of this card.
I love One Piece.
Yeah, it's
I love how Bandai handles.
we
this
kind of
stuff.
speculate. Me and Brian, I think for the past month and a half or whatever, have been speculating how are we getting this card over here, and we kind of thought it was going to be like
the pre-release.
yeah, the pre-release, but like we didn't know because like there's been promos that have coming out in Japan that we didn't get for like months and months and months. You know,
which this store event also, besides the Roger, is also giving us all those promos. So this store event pack is probably one of the best store event packs we've had in a while. It's not really reprint stuff, and it's not really like bad stuff. It's all promos, all new cards to us.
yeah.
So like I've been not opening my packs. You know, this upcoming season for December, it starts in December, by the way. In December, I will be opening up every single pack.
Yeah, go ahead and get play sets of those cards. Once you have the play sets, though, it's just like keep them sealed because, like you said, this might be the one OTS pack, or you know how it is with Yu-Gi-Oh. There were certain ones that were okay to hold.
Yeah.
Like the old Astral packs and stuff like that. The one with impermanent, I wanted to say was 16, 17, something like that.
I can't remember.
There was a few of them that were okay to hold,
Yeah.
and I think this is going to be probably one of the first ones with One Piece to go ahead and if
Make
you're not,
money?
if you're not make money, you know what I mean?
Okay,
But,
yeah.
like,
no, but
personal
have
How
value.
dare you make
Yeah.
money?
How dare you go and sell your cards for profit?
Hey, it's just that's the way the game
I might
works.
clip that in the beginning of the episode.
But
All right,
what I will say though
yeah.
about that Roger is we were saying, Up kind of becomes one of the big three or big four,
Mm-hmm.
where it wasn't, they didn't think it would be before. But what we were missing was that Roger card.
Yeah.
Now we know we're getting that Roger card.
We'll see, man.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about the West, man, we cook. You know what I mean? We definitely get full blown Sanji in the house whenever it comes to deck building and playing. Now we have stuff like the simulator, and we have stuff like that to really kind of see what the meta is going to look like. But I swear, every single format that we go into, it's like we think we know what's going to happen, and it's not. It's literally not. I mean, it's close, but it's just not.
We knew Zoro would be one of the best decks. We knew Rayleigh would. Well, we thought Rayleigh wasn't going to be great.
See,
Turns out to be good.
at the end of Japan's format with Rayleigh, it
was
wasn't really
crazy.
doing anything.
No, it was crazy. It was
No,
winning.
until the end.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, during the whole format that they had it was like Zoro, everything else. And then, like, at the end, it was like, yo, Rayleigh just won this whole thing. What's going on?
yeah. That remember, yeah. It was because like Zoro wasn't even top 32 representation.
Yeah,
And out in
yeah.
the West, it's like up Luffy.
Well, they also had some Katakuri noise. You know, we
Yeah.
had some Katakuri noise too. And I still don't think it's a bad deck. I want to look into it.
Talking about
just
the yellow
a little-
one, right? Or the
yeah,
purple? Yeah.
old yellow Katakuri, dude, with a lot of the new stuff. The 8-drop kid, the Nico
Yeah.
Robin, Basil Hawkins, like those. You know, just to get to that 10 mom. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, and Katakuri's leader effect is still kind of cracked. It's not bad at all.
And Yellow has that new Kuma, so
Kuma's a card too. You know, it's a
Gotta love
lot
him.
of healing going on, a lot of burning, and I think Katakuri might have a deal. But with that Roger coming out, I think we'll see some up. We'll
It was-
definitely see some up being played.
And I'm glad they did bring it because like I'm not sure about you guys, but I know a lot of people were definitely like on the fence of playing Roger without the promo. Which I mean, no, they play the promo in Japan, but I know like a lot of people are like, without the promo, the Roger deck is kind of just okay, kind of
Yeah.
mid, you know, and like it doesn't really go with the curve really, but like it's just another searchable Roger pirate that they can play after they get the 10 Dawn to do
Right.
their stuff. But regardless, it's just kind of like it was like up in the air if like Roger's even gonna be a good deck. With this though, I think people in the West might cook some more. I think Roger might make a splash. It hasn't made a huge splash in the East, but there's some diehard fans of Roger here in the West and stuff, and I feel like some people might cook with them.
I mean, if Emu wasn't really a deck like coming, I think Purple would definitely be still holding it down.
Yeah.
Like no doubt about it. If Emu wasn't coming in, and we've been talking to locals a lot. We've been talking to a lot of players, and I think literally everybody wants to try that deck.
Emu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to try it.
Because it's gonna be like $40 to build.
We say that, but when
Pre-release,
everybody wants to play it.
Yeah, but to Bandai's credit, they make this pretty easy to do.
I don't know, brother. It's an anniversary set, dude,
Yeah.
and like it gets weird with One Piece sometimes.
I just want my alt ace leader.
So you're not on the emu train at all.
As of right now, no.
Okay.
Just because I really dislike decks that are kind of like built like emu and built like Blackbeard, whereas a monotype and you can only play those characters. I know I played Dofi. That was a little bit weird. That's a little bit different in my personal opinion. But emu, literally, you can only play those cards. With Blackbeard, you can only play those cards plus like a few, like 5.
That's fair.
Stuff,
And I
I
have
don't know.
noticed they've done that with the black decks actually pretty
Since-
often
yeah,
now.
yeah.
Yeah. Since the Rob Lucci days, you know?
Yeah, I think they realized that like Sakazuki
But it
and
was
Rob
like that
Lucci,
with it was like
they were
that
just,
with
like,
Gekka
too
Moria.
broken.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Majority of Gekka Moria, you had to play the package that was in the set and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
and that kind of balances out because black can do some crazy stuff, man. Like it really can, dude. Like you'll have full board and then the next turn it's
Lost it
all gone.
all, yeah.
It's all gone. And God, I just think of Rob Lucci.
Yeah, dude, that deck is a menace.
I wish Alex was around during the OP6, 7, and 8
It's
format,
funny
dude. It
that
was
I had never played against Rob Lucci. I went to a side event at Nats and I played 2 in a row. I was like, this thing is so aggravating.
dude.
Oh yeah, if you
full
thought
power,
if
though.
you thought it was aggravating now, dude, back when it had Ice Age
And these lobby-
Ennis lobbies, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my,
It
it
was-
was such a crazy because Ennis lobby is it has a trigger to play it out of life.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so it's like play this and then
So
yeah.
just imagine hitting a 5-life Rob Lucci leader and then their first life is Ennis lobby and they get that established for free.
Yeah, and the reduction was so easy with that deck, you know what I mean? Like, and then it was
Yeah.
still the Rebecca Hina stuff.
Yeah,
Well, Hina was sometimes in there, right?
No, they did it because the play was Gecko into Rebecca
Yeah.
into Hina Lucci. So
Once Gecko got hit, man, I mean, great day for everybody, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But, you know, I feel bad for Josh sometimes.
I'm glad. Okay, look, to Josh's credit, I'm glad it did hit it because look at Josh now. He's playing all these fun decks. He's actually he's actually having a really good time playing One Piece again.
Yeah.
Before he was just only playing that Rob Lucci deck
Yeah.
for so long.
You played Lucci for a while.
Yeah. So I mean, I would too. I would have too. But like honestly, I would have been. I look back on those formats. I think I'm like sometimes I think to myself, why was I playing Bonnie or why was I playing Dofi? I should have been playing Black Yellow Luffy. I know you hate that deck.
No, I
Dude.
think we all should have been.
Why-
And
why did we?
I feel like I said that. I feel
Yeah.
like there was one day where I was like, why are we just not all just like grinding BY right now and
Yeah.
just literally taking like all these events? It was just the stubbornness and we hated the deck so much. Like,
It really was. And geckos were kind of like not outrageously priced, but they were like, they're like what, like
we
$15,
all had
$20.
them, though.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody had a play set of Gecko. It was easy to get, but it was just like I think OP6 though was like a set that they really printed a lot of. That was like whenever the scalping thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you remember 05, you were not getting that. Like,
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So it was just
Oh, that's
it was
the same
one
way
of those
for
things.
13.
Yeah, but speaking of leaks and new things coming with card games, Yu-Gi-Oh made this announcement that they're going to go. This is what they said. They're going outside of the border. Okay, and now I've seen some
Concept arts.
you've seen those like the access code talker and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Because
Where
to confirm, at this moment right now, there is no official anything from. It was so funny how they did it. They made an announcement on Twitter. They said, "Did you see the news? Full border. What's the word I'm trying to say? Border.
extend the border.
Yeah, extend the border archer coming to Yu-Gi-Oh, and we're like, the community was like,
Yeah, what does that
what
mean?
news?
Yeah.
What news?
Yeah.
There was no announcements prior to this. There was no leaks or anything of the nature. And they say, have you seen the news? And that's how we got it. Have you seen the news? No, this is the news.
Yeah, so I've seen some concept art. We made a video on TikTok about it, and some people were saying, because like I was saying full arts. Whenever I saw that, I'm like, okay, they're looking at these other games.
They might be able to do full arts for like a Blue Eyes Dark Magician, cards without all
Well,
that
the reason
text.
I said full arts, like that's what came to my head
Yeah.
was the Rush Duel stuff. And
Yeah.
recently, Rush Duel, and we've said this before, dude. I mean, beautiful, beautiful arts, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just want to kind of have them because they really look good. And it's like a lot of the older, it's like spells and monsters and stuff from when we were younger, you know, the blue eyes, stuff like that. But the one that was really cool was the Change of Heart. And it was like a full borderless, full art. Like,
I knew you were going to say Change of Heart.
It looks so good.
It is. It's probably the best one.
So that's like what's in my head when I see that. But then, you know, in the comments, people are like, I think it's just going to like be the art like coming out of the border or whatever. Like
out of the frame? Like the little square frame?
The square frame.
But I mean, for some of these cards with these long texts, that's good.
Well,
right?
What would be cool is if like maybe they like kept the idea of the card, but like the border and like the frame and stuff just like made it a little bit see through to where you could see more of the art or whatever.
Yeah.
And still have everything there, but just like kind of an extended art type of thing.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is almost a publicity stunt by Konami to where they see what the community wants, because why can't we get full arts for cards like Change of Heart with short line text, normal monsters with short line text, and do
well,
just
I don't
like
even think short line text
ones.
because like I even have some custom token cards somewhere that have
long
effect
text?
like yeah, and they did it right, you know,
Right.
like it's not like leave the text box like alone, like you know what I mean. It doesn't have to be changed. It can stay the same color, everything. But everything around it can be art. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to affect the card. If there's text, go ahead and put a white box behind it. Like, you know what I mean? For like the bottom, the copyright stuff and everything, the number, all that stuff. Put something around that. But and even the name too. You can leave the name bar. You can leave where the stars are and everything the same. You know, but just kind of it's going to be difficult because they are very strict on. Like say you have sleeves that cover any of the text or anything. They're very strict on that. So they're not going to make cards to where it's going to be hard to read because you have to read these huge paragraphs of cards. So I mean,
shout out Endymion.
Okay, and then the way that I think that they're going to have to go with it is more in line with the art coming just a little bit out of the border, more of like a 3D effect. Maybe new drawings of the monsters, you know what I mean? Or the spells and stuff, or it can be like, I know you've seen that access code one that's been going around on Twitter where like it's the same art, but like he's just a little bit more blown up. His head's coming out of the border. One of his legs is coming out, you know, something like that. That's kind of cool. And, you know, is it too late though? Like a lot of people were just like, you know, yeah, this is too late for all this stuff.
Well,
we don't want this.
Not only doing the border cards, they're also doing serialized cards,
which I think that they shouldn't even touch anything like that right now.
Konami's way to get the collectors back into the market.
Let's
just keep it what it is.
It is, dude. But they like me as a collector. I will never attempt to collect. Yu-Gi-Oh again, right? You know what I mean? Just because of that. Now, I say that, but what they did to Starlights broke my heart, dude. Like it did, and the quarter century rares was a load of whatever. And
but that's okay. I'm glad you said quarter century rare because that's exactly where my mind goes. The first quarter century rare, oh my goodness, you could buy that and it was just stonks.
Yeah,
every
it was
time you
beautiful.
Bought it.
We loved
I have
them.
a feeling that they're gonna make a special pack for these borderless cards, and serialized cards, and it's going to be stonks for Konami.
I think that they're gonna be. I don't think they're gonna be like Starlight level. You know what I mean? But what is it? Collector's rare level? You know what I mean? Like something
again,
like that.
The serialized. That's gonna be the chase.
Oh, the serialized.
Right? The one
those
of
will
whatever.
Those will be taking the place of like how Starlights used to be. Hopefully.
Yeah.
And if there's chase again, okay. Like
that's cool.
Now you're talking my language a little bit. Let's see how it goes.
This gets collectors back into your game. Now we got to fix the player problem, and one of the ways I've been fixing the player problem is Genesis. And speaking of Genesis, I have it on good authority that the reason why Genesis is performing really well in the West is because, unlike other formats, the OCG is not doing this. It is purely the TCG.
Oh,
so they
okay.
don't.
I didn't know that.
They didn't have to get permission. Now, again, I have this on good authority. This is not confirmed. This is just sources or whatever. They don't have to get permission from Konami, so they're able to run the game how they run it, do the ban list as they see fit, and they're able to communicate with the player base as they want.
Yeah.
Now,
will this stop OCG from trying Genesis then, or no?
I don't know, because one of the things that you notice is that Genesis is not on Master Duel.
Yeah.
And Master Duel is run by like Konami HQ.
Yeah.
So
I think
standard isn't on Master Duel
Yeah.
either, though. Like
I think Genesis would run so well on Master Duel just because like there's a legitimate way to calculate the stuff, and like you can set like a Genesis format room where like it's like 200 point standard, 150 point standard, 500 point standard, 50 point standard, 0 point standard. You can do that for the entirety of Master Duel, and I think people will have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of communication, that kind of takes me back to what's going on in another card game that's going on, Magic.
Okay.
We don't talk about Magic a lot.
No, we don't.
But Magic, they have their own separate issues. And kind of the lore behind it is right. So we know recently they had Final Fantasy. Mm-hmm. And what, the news was Final Fantasy was such a successful set. It was bought out by shops. People were buying it like crazy. I think some single packs were going for $50 a pack.
Oh,
It was insane. It was such a huge success. So what Wizards did was they made a new set that was coming out just, I think, a week ago, Spider-Man. Marvel Spider-Man.
A few weeks back, and it's part of the, what do they call these things?
Universes Beyond.
Secret
Beyond.
Lair? Or what is
Secret
Secret
Lair?
Lair?
Secret Lair is like a subset kind of.
Yeah.
But like it's similar, very similar.
Was the Spider-Man a part of that? Or?
It is.
Yeah.
Disclaimer, guys. I know nothing about Magic. It's very new to me. It's something that just I don't know a lot
You
about.
played a little bit of Magic, huh?
I played very little Magic. Just a few Commander pods here and there during the Final Fantasy hype. Just because Final Fantasy is a cool set. Final Fantasy is a cool what was it called?
IP.
Theme. Yeah, IP.
Yeah.
And I played Final Fantasy before, so I was like, I'm gonna get in on this. I watched the movies and stuff like that, so I dabbled my way into the Final Fantasy Commander pods, and it was fun. But I don't make it my main game or anything.
So going back to Marvel Spider-Man collaboration with Magic, there was an article on Twitter that pretty much said, so Hasbro is the parent company of Wizards essentially, and from what this article
like the toy company,
yeah,
Hasbro?
like the toy company.
Okay.
So what the bigger picture is Hasbro, and these numbers could be wrong. I don't have access to this article. I read it like 2 or 3 weeks ago, so I apologize if some of the information isn't right. But the whole point is Hasbro's not making much money outside of Magic. I believe the number was something along the lines of $2 million outside of Magic the Gathering. So Magic the Gathering is their bread and butter. That part is right. So what happens when you have a card game that's your bread and butter? You try to milk it, right?
Yeah.
So that's where Universes Beyond has been coming in. Universes Beyond, they're pumping out all these different IPs: SpongeBob, Final Fantasy, Marvel Spider-Man. I think there's a PlayStation 1 with God of War coming out.
Yeah, I think it's something like PlayStation, but there's also they just announced the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
and The Office.
Yeah, and The Office.
Wait, was that real?
Yes.
Yeah, all that's real.
I saw a leak today showing Friends, and I was like, "Is this fake or not?" I don't
Well,
even
you
know.
know,
I think
Wow.
I saw, I know that what was it? There was like a supposed leak with like a list of like all these secret layers coming out, and like some of them were like just off. Like The Office was one of them. I was like, "There's no shot they're doing The Office."
And
No,
they
they're
actually
doing The
did.
Office.
Yeah.
So Universes Beyond gets new players in, but what Universes Beyond is doing is kind of upsetting its current player base, because when you have partnered IPs, you have to pay these IPs royalties, whatever the logistics of the business is. And what happens when that does it is your retail for these packs goes up. What used to be a $5 pack now goes up to $9, $10 for retail. And then when you have the scalping issues, when you have a successful pack like Final Fantasy, again, we saw, I think it was the collector's one specifically that was going for $50 a pot. Well, anywho, the pushback the community had with Spider-Man is there's a whole lot of information on this. If you just look up Marvel Spider-Man, Magic, drama, whatever you want to call it, you'll find some really insightful videos on this. But in short, they kind of hyped up Spider-Man to make it sound way better than what it was. The prices were extremely high. And then when you actually started opening the packs, there were not many good reprints in it, right? Because that's what these packs do, is like Soul Ring. That's the only card I really know the name of. There's a bunch of different cards that they'll print in the artwork of the IP that you have the partnership in.
Yeah.
And outside of that, there weren't many valuable cards being reprinted.
I did see a post somewhere on Facebook where somebody was like, secret layers shouldn't get their own cards. Like, so was that like a thing to where like the Spider-Man stuff was getting like their own like specific cards.
I think the Green Goblin maybe.
I mean, I think for the most part, most of the cards are like new, but like they're just like
they're existing cards, but in Spider-Man artwork for the most part.
We'll get a Magic player on here one day.
We need to. I know one in particular.
We'll do that. I'm interested, you know, because like there's been a lot like me not playing it to see a lot of the stuff and everything. Now it is one of the oldest, like most popular card games in the world, but I'm not around it that much, you know.
Most popular, it could equal the most popular.
Yeah, I think so.
It could almost rival Pokemon in some aspects, but
I think it does.
Yeah, at least in America. So what you notice once you start opening these packs, besides not getting value for your money, right? You start to realize that there's not a lot of great artworks. There's not a lot of great names, because what happens is if you make any changes to the arts, a different pose, whatever the case may be, the artist would have to contact Wizards, and Wizards would have to contact Marvel. Marvel would have to green light to Wizards. Wizards would have to green light to the artist. So they had to start making generic like artworks that had nothing to do with, you know, I mean, it's Spider-Man similar, but not. And there was also an abundance of Spider-Man. There weren't many other villains. I think the only villain that they did was like one, who was it? Electrode, and one Green Goblin.
No, I have seen some of like the comic cards that are on there and stuff, and they're cool.
And there was like the Daily Bugle cards, which was really cool artwork. Yeah. And there was just a lot of pushback from the Magic community saying, hey, this is not a great set. This is really a flop of a set.
I will say I was in Target today.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of it.
Well, there was something else that happened right after this too.
Yeah.
Wizards sent out a survey. I don't know how you get these surveys. I guess you are kind of like the Bandai app. You may get a survey, something like that. I don't know how that works. So if someone in the comments, please educate us.
Educate us on the Magic.
Because if we get something wrong, please correct us, blase, blase.
Yeah.
But what they did do was they asked in the survey, how much did influencer negative opinion affect you? Right? We're talking Tolarian Community College, which is the biggest one. He's very big on buy singles, don't buy products.
Yeah, I know.
He hates Universes Beyond. And there are other big name Magic. There's one of the podcasts that do specifically Magic that they're like, hey, we're just not going to talk about Marvel Spider-Man because it's just such a negative topic. So they asked that. They were like, rate on a scale of 0 to 5, how much influencer negative opinions affected your opinion on purchasing this product. And they worded it almost exactly like that. And then the immediate question after was, name them.
Oh. Go ahead and put them out there.
Oh, so they want to target them now, huh?
That's what the community is saying, because there is partnership programs. All the different card games do it, right?
Yeah.
Magic will send product to partnered
and they'll like
channels.
Open the packs, kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh does.
It's free advertising. It's literally free advertising. All I gotta do is give you some product, and you do a video. What
Yu-Gi-Oh does is they'll give the YouTubers 2 boxes, and then they'll open one and then give away, and. Yeah, so Magic's basically saying, who's talking about us, right? I need you to tell us who told you not to buy this pack.
Yeah, throw Pop.1 on there now.
Yeah, throw Pop.1 podcast on there. Let them know. No, don't do that. Honestly, I don't care, but, it's just like, that's kind of weird, man.
That's extremely weird.
Do your own research.
You're like Magic. It really does seem Magic is doing a lot of what Yu-Gi-Oh is doing. I really want to do more research to be able to talk about this more in an educated manner.
I want to pick it back up for sure.
Because I do go to a local shop, and every day I go, there is Magic players there playing Magic. So I really need to start asking them more questions about how the card game is ran and things of that nature, because it really seems like Magic is almost pushing away its current players base while begging newer players to come in, because you got to think Magic players who've been playing Magic since the 90s, since we were born, they're used to these old school cards, really having like Magic the Gathering. And, there are exceptions to Universes Beyond, like Final Fantasy, again, it fits in line with what Magic the Gathering is.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me SpongeBob or The Office is like, that's just asinine to me. And it pushes your current player base away, and you're doing that to essentially e-beg new players to come open your products.
I think they're doing it because obviously these cards are going to be like cool collectors things. There's going to be people that see, SpongeBob cards, kids, and then you're going to have people see,
look at this meme.
The Office.
Current.
Yeah,
this Dwight Schrute card.
I like The Office. I
want a PSA 10 Dwight Schrute.
I will say though, since this Final Fantasy stuff and actually the Spider-Man stuff, my first Magic the Gathering purchase was during the Final Fantasy, and I didn't know this. It was a box, and it was like $50 or something like that. And then I open it and there's one pack in it. I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, you know what I mean?
told you.
But then I learned that like a lot of the cards in these packs can be like super rare or like,
they're like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah. And I actually pulled one that was like $100+ and I was like, oh, cool. Well, I did the same thing with the Spider-Man. We were on vacation and I was in a Walmart. I opened up the Spider-Man and my boy that plays Magic and he's super into it. I was like, hey man, any of this stuff good, playable, valuable, anything like that? And he was just like, nah, that's like $9 worth of stuff. And I was like, ew.
I'd throw up.
Yeah, I guess
and
I did
that's a
bad.
common experience with Spider-Man is you're losing value for your money.
Yeah.
You know, in One Piece, you open a pack of PRB.
One Piece be doing this though.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
Like,
you cannot compare One Piece.
Dude, it's every time I go because like I'll go to Dallas or like anywhere for like Bandai Card Fest or stuff like that, and the vendors out there they'll buy all your stuff. And I usually, you know, just accumulate from pack openings and stuff from locals and everything like that. I bring a binder and I sell out. Every single time I sell out, dude, all these cards just start shooting up or they're playable again, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, I just had a play set of this, man. Like, it sucks sometimes.
So
but
if you're watching this podcast, what we're telling you is if you've been a longtime player in your current card game, don't be afraid to try a new card game.
yeah, pretty much, man. Just don't be afraid, I guess. You know, the whole Magic the Gathering thing, I hope that they get whatever they got going on fixed. And yeah, you know, I never like hearing card players having a bad time in their game, you know, and that's why we're so vocal on the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff and everything.
Could you imagine illustration box of One Piece going for $80 retail?
But see, see, if One Piece drops something like that, we know it's going to be cracked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we know that they're going to make sure like something in it is going to be worth our time.
I'm pretty sure the EX boxes are worth that much. Well, I guess on secondary market they're worth that much.
I'm talking retail on release.
Okay, yeah.
Could you imagine you being a longtime player of of this game having that? And will Yu-Gi-Oh go the same way with their serialized card boxes coming out?
What would be funny is if like Yu-Gi-Oh drops all these like out of the border cards, like his promos, like for like illustration boxes and stuff like that.
They probably will eventually.
I mean, the holidays are about to come up. You know what I mean? And like,
well, they're saying the release is going to be what, February?
Yeah,
February is a busy month, man. That is going to be a busy month for a lot of stuff. Get your wallets ready because
Vegas.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas, baby. And, that's a lot going on. Well, let's take a quick break. We got an email today, so we'll go over the email and get it going, baby. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, I'm sorry to interrupt the show, but we have to talk to you about your leader. Protect your leader in style with the original leader loader from Anchor Goods. Yes, Anchor Goods. The ultimate protection for your leader in the One Piece card game. It's sized to fit snug, it's tournament legal, and it's sized to fit perfectly in your deck box. Every kit comes with a leader case that features a design from one of your favorite characters. It comes with a microfiber cloth that cleans your glass, and it also comes with a perfect sleeve to fit over your leader card to fit perfectly into the leader case. So make sure you click the link down below to get a leader case designed by players for players. And huge thank you to Anchor Goods for sponsoring Pop.1 podcast. Let's get back to the episode.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're going to interrupt this episode and tell you about our sponsors. Yes, our sponsors over at Dueling Guard. These guys definitely have everything you need for your TCG journey. Go ahead and head on down to duelingguard.com. Check out their deck boxes, their play mats, their binders, their anime art cards. They have it all, and I swear I love this stuff. I back it all the way. I personally use binders and deck boxes from Dueling Guards for all of my TCG play. When I'm going to bigger tournaments, or even if I'm going to smaller tournaments, they have everything I need to be comfortable in my competitive scene. I love the size of their deck boxes. They fit perfectly in my book bag without any type of clutter. You know what I mean? When you have them big deck boxes and it's just so cluttery in your book bag, it makes your book bag kind of get deformed after a little while. These are great for that because they're a nice slim fit. They also have so many different sizes of deck boxes. So if you don't like the size of one of their deck boxes, I'm sure they'll have something to fit your certain criteria whenever you're going to these big events. Their playmats are super high quality. I really, really enjoy playing on them. And their binders are peak. They're side loading, they zip up. They're just really good binders all in all, and they fit perfectly in your book bag. They also have different accessories like playmat holders and different bags that you can take out. I'm telling you now, you guys are definitely gonna wanna support Dueling Guard, man. They are very awesome in what they do. So go to duelingguard.com, use code Pop.1 at checkout. You guys get a discount. It helps us out a lot. We really enjoy having Dueling Guard around, and we thank them so much for what they do for the community and for Pop.1 podcast. All right, let's get back to the show.
And welcome back. So every week we're trying to get more emails from you guys watching. If you're interested in sending us an email to read on the show, send it to pop1podcastsubmissions@gmail.com. That's pop1 podcastsubmissions@gmail.com. So today we have a email from an SPS Boss 24, and it reads, "Hi guys, I was at the Dallas Bandai Fest and started watching coverage from different people's perspectives. The video that got me hooked on your channel was that short where you asked people about the event. It was such a fun vibe. Appreciate that. We love doing those interviews at different events. It's probably one of our favorite things to do. I went back and watched your other videos, love the content. I've been playing One Piece lately after stepping away from Yu-Gi-Oh, as many other people do, or at least playing it way less. I play One Piece really well, usually top locals or rarely placed below 5th. Lately, I've been trying out Dragon Ball Fusion World with my friends. The mechanics are close enough to One Piece that I should get it, but for some reason, it just doesn't click. I keep ending up at the bottom of locals. Maybe it's the card economy, charging from hand, or my inability to find the perfect combo for life damage. Because of that, I've kind of lost motivation to keep playing. It feels like I'm just showing up to donate entry fees at this point. Has there ever been a TCG for you guys that just didn't click, where you thought, maybe this one's just not for me? Much love from the Bronx, New York City. Pro Dottie." And then he has a tagline, final number, question mark. I apologize, I don't know what that one means. So was there a card game that you guys thought just doesn't click for you?
Definitely. It's actually weird. We kind of touched this last week when it was like kind of talking about trying to get other card players to play other games and stuff like that. And that is an issue. You know what I mean? You can be really good at one game and then try another game that's similar to that game, but just not be as good as you think you should be. So I've had that problem before. Not like with mainline games. Like we come from Yu-Gi-Oh, obviously, and then started playing One Piece. And like honestly, in One Piece, I wasn't that hot when I started. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was very difficult to get to a level. And I'm by no means like any pro level or anything, but to get to a level to where you could topple locals and do stuff like that, sometimes that gets a little difficult. And but yeah, there's been a few games. One game specifically would be like Weiss Schwartz. I tried playing Weiss Schwartz one time, and it was just weird, man. It was a very weird game. You know what I mean? It was just something that, like, I'm not gonna say it's a bad game. I just didn't have fun with it. So it was just one of those things but there was another game that I picked up for a little while, and was Pokemon. Yeah. And I did decent at Pokemon. I actually topped my first little event that I did. It
was like a case tournament?
Yeah, over at shout out Action TCG, our boy Will. But after that, I was just like, I feel like I was accomplished in the game, and I went back to Yu-Gi-Oh. But yeah, man, I think that happens a lot, and that's actually one of the reasons a lot of people don't want to try card games, because of not only the paywall and getting into another card game, but also, you know, you get into these card games, you try it, and you think that you're already at a certain level, or you feel like you're already set at a certain level, then you go and actually compete, and you're not even close. And then, you know, it kind of makes you question, did I make the right decision on the game that I want to play? Because it's not like back in the day where you can just, like, you know, not a lot of card games. There are a lot of card games being pushed, but not a lot of new ones that are being, like, flourished. You know what I mean? Like, it's very rare to have a card game blow up that isn't already an anime or something, or like, it's something that's
kind
just
of big IP,
right? You know, now I do think that a lot of these games that have come out, like One Piece and the Bandai games, probably were other games to something else a long time ago, and then they're like, oh, well, we'll just throw One Piece on this game that we created, and then boom, that's how it happens. But yeah, I think that Dragon Ball Fusion World's kind of weird. like, you know, I tried that one out too, and it was one of those games that didn't click for me either. But we've said this before. I don't like anything to where I have to take a card out of my hand and use and make it a dead card for energy. And that was Dragon Ball Fusion World's whole thing was every turn, you know, in One Piece you get 2 Dawn from your Dawn deck. Well, every turn you have to trash or essentially take a card out of hand to make it your energy until you're up to 10. And they're all just dead. They're all just Dawn cards essentially at the end of the day. So that was one that just didn't click for me.
Doesn't Lorcana play like that too?
Yeah. I think we've asked the same question here before, but yeah, they do. They do play like that. Or it's either on the live. We had this conversation last night on the live too. That a lot of people just. There's a lot of people that defend Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, and there's a lot of people that defend One Piece and are really harping on Yu-Gi-Oh right now and stuff like that. So we get those kind of battles in our lives sometimes. Yeah. And a lot of people are just like, you know, play what you love. And I agree with that.
Play what you love.
More than anything.
Yeah, because so for you specifically, it was Pokemon.
Pokemon, White Swords, and probably Dragon Ball Fusion. Yeah.
What about you?
Mine is Lorcana. And so when because I was trying to get into it during the first chapter, I bought a couple starter decks, and I also at the same time was thinking about playing One Piece, but I really wanted to try Lorcana because it was brand spanking new. Like this is like first chapter stuff, and at the time I think One Piece was semi-established. It had like a few.
We were
sets.
like OP4.
It was OP5,
OP3, OP4.
Yeah, it was around that time, and so I decided to try the Lorcana, and I remember vividly. Watching a tutorial video on Lorcana that was made by the Lorcana team, the Lorcana development team, and it was like an hour long. And I watched that entire video, and I was like, man, this could have been a whole podcast. And they were playing a whole game of Lorcana out on the table, and I legit was like, so like as an ADHD brain, I was like, I cannot get into this at all. And there were so many rules, and they were like, oh, you can like, you know, kind of like in Dragon Ball Fusion World, like you can take a card out of your hand to play as a mana, but it has to be a specific card that had like a certain symbol around the cost area.
Oh, really?
To be an ink, something like that. Yeah. So then you gotta get it inked and do this, that, there, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. I just didn't like that. I played it. I tried playing it, but I thought the scale of trying to go up was really weird. Like, so like most card games, most trading card games, you're like either taking prize cards or taking life cards or reducing life points to 0, right?
Yeah.
And Magic is like reducing like whatever the life in your Magic, but in Lorcana, instead of going down, they're trying to bring you up to 20, and that's when the game stops. So I was like, this is just like a really weird concept. I'm not sure if I like it because a lot of people use life as a resource. You know, like in Yu-Gi-Oh, life points are just a resource until they hit 0.
Yeah.
And same thing with One Piece. Like when people hit me for life, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
So thanks for the free card. Pokemon, same thing. You take a life. Pokemon's a little bit different because what was it when you do damage to your opponent, you take the prize card. So it's Pokemon's like a win more game.
Yeah.
But that's why all the Pokemon cards are cracked. So.
Yeah, I remember playing Pokemon, and there was one card, what was that, Hisuian Heavy Ball, where you could like look at your whole life and everything. That was really cool. But,
no, I just couldn't get into Lorcana. I bought a lot of the first chapter stuff. I never bought a booster box or anything, but I bought like one of each starter deck, a couple booster packs, because like at the time they were limiting it because like
it was very really hard to get. Yeah,
very hard to get Lorcana stuff. So I was like hoarding it kind of and like opening it up and like sleeving it up to play with my friends. And when I played my first real game after watching that tutorial, I was like, wow, this is terrible.
Yeah,
like,
I got a few of the. I remember one of our boys, and he actually like went pretty far into Lorcana lore, I guess, you know. And he was like, get these structure decks or whatever if you can find them. And I was able to find 2 of them, and they're still put up. Like I never opened them or anything like that. It's just I don't know. Like the Disney thing, I don't know, man. Like I like Disney to certain things with Disney. Like don't get me wrong, but it's just like I don't know.
The moment they start making like the Marvel stuff in Lorcana, maybe I'll get into it.
Yeah, they just announced Gargoyles and Toy Story. That's what somebody in our live last night was telling us. So
yeah, and I saw the Power Line stuff. I thought that was really cool too. But yeah, I'm looking like that once Lorcana gets into that level of my preferred IP, then I'll get more into it. But
I'm sure they'll do Marvel. It's just kind of weird that like with the Magic stuff going on and stuff like that, and then like
Star Wars has its own card game.
Yeah, Star Wars just has their own complete card game, which I hear is really good, but it's just like I don't hear nothing else about it. Like from the players, they're like, "Dude, this is really good," and there's like actually a good amount of people playing it.
Yeah, there's a big community down here.
I don't hear nothing else about it.
They have a bigger locals than we do sometimes.
If I didn't go to a card shop, I would not know anything about that game.
Yeah.
For me, it's believe it or not, it's actually Gundam. And I know I was very high on Gundam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mr. I love Gundam.
So at first glance, it seemed like they took everything that was right with One Piece and, they took like the few things that could have improved with One Piece and brought it to the Gundam. Like the mulligan system was fantastic. The bases I like a lot. What I don't like, though, is the shield mechanic of Gundam. And this sounds kind of like nitpicky, but and I played Gundam somewhat competitively on the local scene for about a month and a half. I even won some locals, so it's not like I was bad at the game. But yeah, I can be playing against an opponent and clear their whole board, and they can come back and clear my whole board before I'm able to destroy them. But it's almost like it's fast, but not too fast. It wasn't fun. It felt like old school Yu-Gi-Oh, really. Like vanilla beatdown.
But it is just the first like wave of
it's very new.
And then the suppression cards came out, and I'm not a fan of suppression where they do double damage to your shields. So I proxied that and played that with my roommate, and suppression's broken.
Okay.
And then once I saw that, I was like, I don't know if I like where this game is going. On top of that, the scalping issues where you're not able to find the product anywhere.
Yeah.
Like anywhere. Don't get me started on that. But the gameplay itself, I thought was really good at first. But the more I played it, the more I just was turned off by it.
That's fair, man.
That's crazy. Because I've been loving Gundam. I've been playing it every now and then at locals if I get a chance. And I built that Best Friends deck that won Bandai Fest.
Yeah.
And tons of fun with it. I'm like, wow, this is really fun. I love Gundam.
The other game, too, was Pokemon. I think I played one locals, and I beat someone who's really good, and I'm just like, this game is so boring. Pokemon just feels like
Pokemon
a
can
very
definitely be
game.
It can be boring. It can be definitely like very just like.
I'm also not a Pokemon fan. As a child, I played Leaf Green, all that good jazz. But at a certain point, I just lost all interest in Pokemon. Even when the Pokemon Go hype was going on, I was interested in it for the first generation. Then once they got the second generation and so forth, I was like, I don't really care.
Dude, there was somebody playing Pokemon Go at locals last night.
At locals?
Yeah,
there was.
There was like 5 people that were doing a raid, and I was like, if I logged into my account, I put some time into that Pokemon Go account, dude.
I just logged back into mine because they went up to level. They have the level 80 cap now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And my friends were like, "Hey, log in because like we want to see how high you can get." And my account hit to 70, which is like the base number. Because after that, you had from 71 or 70 to 80, you have to do like these mini missions.
Yeah.
So my account hit to 70 immediately. And they're like, well, that's as high as you can get until you do the missions. I was like, oh, well, there I am. Yeah. But I was grinding Pokemon Go for a while.
What's funny is my house is actually a Pokestop.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Dude, you should like really.
Yeah, why are you not?
Dude, back when like remote raids were like a thing, like because I heard they took those away, right? Like,
so you can do remote raids still, but like it's only like certain events now.
Dude.
And like they made them expensive. It's like it used to be $1, and now it's like $3.
Dude, I would spend that bread.
I know, dude.
I would spend that bread.
That's off tangent. Oh, sorry, Alex.
Dude, every time, no, it was like every time like a Rayquaza or like a Darkrai or like anything, any raid with like a monster like that, I was just like, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because this weekend was Mega Rayquaza raid.
Yeah,
and kind of wish I did some, to be honest, but I didn't play any.
Yeah.
I was locked into Legends ZA.
But that just takes us back, try new card games. You might not like it. It took me 2 months, I'd say, to get decent at One Piece where I was actually performing at locals.
Yeah, I think a lot of that comes with the competitive side of Yu-Gi-Oh. I will still like harp on that and tell everybody that if you are a great Yu-Gi-Oh, like not even a great Yu-Gi-Oh player, if you know how to play a game of Yu-Gi-Oh properly, you know what I mean, without like constantly saying your opponent saying that's not how you play, you know what I mean, like if you know how to play and like know how to do like chain links and stuff like that, like you can play One Piece.
You can play any card game really, and I think the biggest thing that takes away people's interest from games is fun. The card game has to be fun.
It does. And it also depends on like the players around you too. Yeah, like you know what I mean. Like
the community is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always harp on this with One Piece because I think it's super easy to learn to play One Piece.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to master. And I was like explaining that to you and Michael the other day on Thursday when y'all were practicing. And I was like, you gotta learn to read the opponent. Like this One Piece is a personal game too, because it's like a poker game almost. Because like if your opponent starts hitting, like if your opponent starts hitting you and you start countering out with like 1K counters, that's just a good knowledge game of like, all right, well his hand's really weak. I can start going in really hard now, and he'll probably take every single life hit. And you can't really do that in like Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. Like,
no.
Like you're like, what was it? You go, no hand traps, and they just go off.
Yeah.
So how, like, I don't know. I don't find that fun. Pokemon also same thing. I think the only difference with Pokemon, I think, is like, do you have the boss order to gust myself and then win the game?
Yeah.
Which is like where most Pokemon games end up. Like, there's always just like, let me get to a situation where my opponent has like, they need 2 more prize cards left. And I have a boss order I'm sitting on. I can just boss order the EX or whatever, the multi-prize card, just knock it out for the game.
I mean, I still play Pocket. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I still play Pokemon Pocket, so I know all these things, and it's still the same, like, concept and stuff. It's a lot dumbed down, but I'm like one of the last players in the world still playing that game. But, like, it's fun, and that's my taste of Pokemon, like, though, to the max. Like, I don't have an urge to build a deck and go to a locals. I mean, even at our local shop, I've tried to get Pokemon going a few times, and we've had a few successful locals, but then like it just ends up dying down. We've done it like 2 times already, and it just ends up dying down, and it's just like, I'm good on that. We just talked about it the other night that our One Piece locals is like sustaining itself so well that if we have players that leave, there's like 4 more that come in after them. Yeah. And we were talking about, we're like, yeah, our numbers have been good for going on almost 3 years now, and it feels good with One Piece.
Yeah,
that's my game that I'm enjoying the most right now. There might be another game in the future, but right now the One Piece card game is just filling that itch for me. You know what I mean?
I wonder, cheap enough.
Yeah,
you can do your competitive events, and you can get the collectors.
Yeah.
See, sometimes I wish like, and this is me like thinking like some kind of like selfish kind of way, but what if Bandai had made every one of their card games similar to One Piece? Mechanic wise, I feel like that'd be a lot more fun. But that's just my hot take on it. I actually do prefer Bandai making all their games different, like Union Arena, Gundam being different, all that stuff being different. It adds a little bit of flavor, because if every game was the same copy paste mechanic, I'll get really bored really fast.
Union Arena fumbled the bag so hard, dude. With like, for me to not be able to play Full Metal Alchemist characters with my Bleach characters, and my Evangelion characters and like all that stuff. God, such a missed opportunity.
I kind of want to play it though, because like I'm not sure about you guys, but ever since we've been talking about Bandai, my phone's been picking up on it, and I've been seeing every single Bandai content, like Dragon Ball, Fusion World, Union Arena, Gundam stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
I got some of the starter decks. Maybe we'll try it. Yeah, I'll try Union Arena. And we're talking about people trying different card games and stuff like that. Maybe we'll have a section where we sit down and we try another card game and do some stuff like that, and then kind of give our take on it. But I think that was a good episode today, guys. And episode 15. It's we're still grinding every single day. TikToks, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Spotify now.
Yeah, we're on Spotify.
Oh, we're on Spotify.
So if you guys are new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. Check out our sponsors down below. We have Dueling Guard. You can click that link, 15% off. Great stuff, man. They're dropping really stuff all the time, really good stuff. And check out Anchor Goods, your leader loaders over at Anchor Goods. They are beautiful. You can go down below, click our affiliate link. It helps our channel out a lot. You can get them. They're really good price for what they are. And they don't touch your leaders, man.
And please send us emails at pop1podcastsubmissions@gmail.com. That's pop the number 1 podcast submissions with an S at the end @gmail.com.
Yep. And also, we will be in New Orleans November 1st for the regional for One Piece card game. If you're out there, come say what's up. Let's get you on the TikTok. Let's get a little interview going and do some good stuff. But before we get out of here, you got anything motivational you would like to say today, Alex?
I think everyone can agree, try new card games. It doesn't have to be One Piece. It doesn't have to be a Bandai card games. There's so many to choose from. I promise you, your local scene has different card games you could try. Meet new people, try new card games.
Yep. Brian?
Preston, you go first.
I go first? Let's see. Nah, just like Alex said, try new card games, but be mindful of what you like. You know what I mean? Don't be forced into something that will, kind of take your fun away, because at the end of the day, this is all a leisure hobby. This is something that we go and do to get out of life for a little while. Why go and stress yourself out? Wow. Play something that you like. Don't do it because everybody else is. If you like a card game, be it White Swartz, or if you just want to play the Monopoly card game, you know what I mean? Just go do that, man. Bring some friends to a card shop and sit down. There's all types of stuff that you can try out.
Yeah, Brian.
If you're gonna play a new card game, make sure you just read the cards all the way through, because reading the card explains to you what the cards will do. Love it.
Read the cards, baby. There was a judge that got banned on Facebook in one of the judge groups because he told the guy to just read the card.
Did he really?
Yes, dude. That's so funny. But anyways, guys, it was a good episode. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.